The 7 Unbreakable Habits of a Multi-Millionaire Mindset. Hello everyone, and a sincere thank you for being here. Over my 17-year journey as a business news anchor and journalist, I have been granted a front row seat to the minds of hundreds of the world's most successful wealth creators and leaders. I've sat across from self-made billionaires, legendary investors, and visionary entrepreneurs, and I began to notice something fascinating. It wasn't a secret stock tip or a hidden market loophole that united them all. It was something far more powerful and far more accessible, a pattern of thinking. I discovered that wealth isn't just a number in a bank account, it is first and foremost a mindset. It's a collection of small, deliberate, and often counterintuitive mental habits that, when practiced consistently, compound into extraordinary results, just like money itself. Today, I want to pull back the curtain and share with you the 7 core habits that form the bedrock of this millionaire mindset. This isn't just theory. This is the lived experience of the most successful people I've had the privilege to know. For those of you who are new, I'm Sonia. For over 16 years, I was an anchor with CNBC TV 18, where my daily life involved dissecting stock markets, analyzing company balance sheets, and translating complex financial data for millions of viewers. Last year, I took a leap to start my own independent journalism practice with one clear mission: to demystify finance and make money conversations accessible, empowering, and actionable for everyone. So, let's begin. Here are the 7 habits to fundamentally transform your relationship with money and build lasting wealth. Habit 1. Reclaim the truth. Money is an agent of happiness. Let's start by dismantling a pervasive and frankly unhelpful myth: the idea that money can't buy happiness. After hundreds of candid conversations, the unanimous and unambiguous view from those who have actually created vast wealth is this: money is a profound agent of happiness, and you should never let anyone make you feel guilty for pursuing it. Why is this so fundamental? Because if you subconsciously believe that wealth is corrupting or that wanting money is greedy, you will self-sabotage your own efforts. Sonil Zinga, a titan in money management with over 30 years of experience, put it to me with stunning clarity. He said, "Sonia, money genuinely solves 90% of the problems that are caused by a lack of money." Think about that. The anxiety of a looming bill? Solved. The helplessness of a medical emergency? Mitigated. The feeling of being trapped in a job or a relationship because you can't afford to leave? Eradicated. Money provides the ultimate luxury, which is not a sports car, but the freedom of choice. It gives you the agency to invest in a dream business, to provide your children with a world-class education, to choose a life partner without financial pressure, to walk away from toxic situations, and to secure your family's future. This isn't superficial happiness. This is the deep, abiding peace that comes from security and autonomy. The crucial nuance. However, there is a canyon of difference between pursuit and obsession. An obsession with money ties your self-worth to a fluctuating digit, bringing volatile joy and profound sorrow. The healthy mindset is to see money for what it is, a magnificent tool. It is the fuel for your journey, the means to a meaningful end, but it is not the destination itself. Stop apologizing for your hunger to earn. Embrace it as the first step toward building a life of freedom and impact. Habit 2. Grant yourself the permission to fail spectacularly. From our earliest days, we are conditioned for success. We are rewarded for A's, celebrated for victories, and subtly taught that failure is something to be ashamed of. This programming has a devastating consequence. It makes us prefer inaction over the risk of failure. We become paralyzed, choosing the comfort of the known over the potential of the unknown. This, right here, is the dream killer. The most significant mindset hack I've learned is this: you must grant yourself the permission to fail. In fact, you must welcome it. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the most critical ingredient in it. It is the tuition you pay for your education in life and business. I was deeply struck by a story from Romesh Damani. He told me that early in his life, his father gave him a small amount of capital and said, "Go trade in the stock market. If you lose it all, that's fine. Consider it your learning fee, but whatever you make, it is yours to keep. That single act of granting permission to fail without judgment was a liberation. It removed the stigma and the fear, allowing him to take calculated risks with a clear mind. When you are terrified of failure, you are ultimately terrified of other people's opinions. You are held hostage by the judgment of your family, your friends, and your peers. But the moment you internalize that failure is merely data, feedback on what doesn't work, you achieve what I call financial escape velocity. You break free from the gravitational pull of convention. This is how you must approach that new business idea, that career switch, that move to a new city for a better opportunity. Stop waiting for a guarantee of success. There are none. Take the leap, not in spite of the potential to fail, but with the full acceptance of it. It is in that space of courageous action that true magic and opportunity unfold. Habit 3. Master the art of detached action. This habit is a profound spiritual principle that has immense practical application in wealth creation. I learned it from Vikas Khemani of Carnelian Capital, who articulated it perfectly. You need to always work hard, but don't think about how much money or reward comes at the end of it. Only when you detach yourself from the output does the quality of your input truly go up. This is a direct echo of the wisdom in the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches the principle of nishkama karma, action without attachment to the fruit. In modern terms, it means falling in love with the process, not the prize. When you are overly fixated on the outcome, the bonus, the profit, the promotion, your energy becomes scattered by anxiety and desperation. You make short-sighted decisions. You chase get-rich-quick schemes. You become a speculator, not an investor. But when you detach from the result and pour all your energy, focus, and integrity into the work itself, the deep research, the building of a quality product, the serving of your customers, the honing of your skill, something remarkable happens. The work becomes its own reward. The quality of your effort skyrockets because it is no longer tainted by the fear of loss or the greed of gain. And paradoxically, this is when the universe begins to respond with outsized rewards. High-quality, dedicated input inevitably leads to exceptional output. Focus on perfecting your craft and abundance will follow. 4. Live by your inner scorecard. This is a concept I owe to the great Warren Buffett, which was brilliantly explained to me by Monish Pabrai. Buffett speaks of the inner scorecard versus the outer scorecard. The outer scorecard is how the world measures you. The car you drive, the size of your house, the brand of your watch, the title on your business card. It's a relentless, exhausting race for external validation. The inner scorecard, however, is your personal compass. It is how you measure yourself against your own values, your own definition of a life well lived, and your own goals. It is quiet, personal, and unshakable. Wealthy individuals are ruthlessly aligned with their inner scorecard. They do not make financial decisions to impress people they don't even like. If a luxury car doesn't bring them genuine joy, they simply don't buy it. This is not about being frugal, it's about being autonomous. This habit is the very foundation of wealth accumulation because it naturally leads to the golden rule: spend less than you earn. When you stop spending on things society defines as successful, you free up an enormous amount of capital for what truly matters: investment. Warren Buffett himself said, "If you are even a slightly above average investor and you spend less than you earn and you don't take leverage, you will definitely become rich in your lifetime." This is a mathematical certainty, and it starts with the mindset shift of the inner scorecard. When you have one, no one can define success for you but you. You become the master of your financial destiny, not a slave to social approval. Habit 5. Think in asymmetrical outcomes. This habit is about recalibrating your risk-reward analysis. I learned this from the veteran value investor Madhukar, who built a fortune of 3,000 crore rupees from scratch. He explained that when he evaluates a stock, he doesn't just see one possibility, he sees a binary outcome. On one side, what is the downside? What if this stock falls by 30%? Can I withstand that? On the other, more important side, What is the asymmetrical upside? What if this stock rises by 300% or 500%? Wealthy people are not gamblers, but they are masterful at identifying opportunities where the potential upside dramatically outweighs the potential downside. They punch above their weight by thinking audaciously. This isn't about blind optimism, it's about strategic conviction. Instead of asking, "Is this safe?" start asking, "If I'm right, how transformative could this be?" You then build your entire investment thesis around that compelling upside potential. You research more deeply, you build stronger conviction, and you position yourself to capture life-changing returns. This habit moves you from a defensive, scarcity-driven mindset to an offensive, abundance-oriented one. Habit 6. Become a creator, not just a consumer. This is a habit that defines the daily routines of the wealthy. Look at how you spend your most valuable asset, your time. The wealthiest people I know are relentless creators. They spend a minimal amount of time in passive consumption and devote the bulk of their energy to active creation. Creation can take many forms: building a business, researching an investment, writing a book, learning a new skill, coding an app, strategizing a marketing campaign, or even creating meaningful family experiences. It is any act that adds value to the world or to your own skill set. Consumption, on the other hand, is passive, endlessly scrolling social media, binge-watching television, and reading news without purpose. A famous study, often cited online, found that over 70% of wealthy people spend less than 1 hour per day watching recreational TV. They aren't just sitting there consuming the world, they are out there building their own. The energy of creation is magnetic. It attracts opportunities, connections, and ultimately, wealth. Make a conscious choice every day to create more than you consume. Your bank account and your sense of purpose will thank you for it. Habit 7. Adopt first principles. Thinking. Finally, we come to a habit that is the bedrock of true innovation and intelligent investing. First principles thinking. This concept was illuminated for me by Nandan Nilekani. First principles thinking is the practice of boiling down a complex problem to its most fundamental, undeniable truths and then reasoning upward from there. It is the opposite of reasoning by analogy, which is when we do something because that's how it's always been done. Elon Musk provided the classic example. Everyone in the aerospace industry accepted that rockets were impossibly expensive. Musk, instead of accepting this analogy, applied first principles. He asked, "What is a rocket made of? Aluminum, copper, and some specialty alloys. What is the value of those materials on the commodity market?" He discovered that the material cost of a rocket was only about 2% of the typical price. The problem wasn't the physics, it was the inefficient manufacturing. By rebuilding the problem from the ground up, he slashed production costs and revolutionized space travel. Apply this to your financial life. Don't just invest in a mutual fund because your friend did. Break it down. What companies does it hold? What are their business models? Are they profitable? What are their growth prospects? Don't accept that you have to live paycheck to paycheck. Break it down. Where is every rupee going? What are your non-negotiable expenses? How can you systemize saving and investing before you ever see the money? First principles thinking empowers you to cut through the noise, challenge conventional wisdom, and make decisions based on fundamental reality, not on herd mentality. These 7 habits are more than just tips. They are a blueprint for a fundamental rewiring of your psychology around money. They have been my guiding light, helping me structure not just my investments, but my entire approach to life and work. This journey is built daily, through small, consistent choices. It starts in your mind long before it manifests in your wallet. I would love to know which of these habits resonates most with you. Let me know in the comments below. And please tell me what other topics you'd like me to cover, be it specific investment strategies, mindset deep dives, or analyses of market trends. Thank you for your time and your commitment to your own growth. I believe in your potential to build extraordinary wealth. Now go out there and build the mindset to match. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.